Hi, I'm Jason Little, President and CEO of Baptist Memorial Healthcare. At Baptist, providing the perfect patient experience is our top priority, and quality and safety for our patients are a vital part of the empathetic care we strive for every day. Every Baptist team member supports these measures, whether they're at the bedside or supporting those who are. The President's Quality Award was developed to showcase some of our team members who are doing this work day in and day out. Today you'll hear from Dana Dye, Michelle Smith, and Darla Belt as they give us an inside look into their daily safety huddle, which has dramatically improved efficiency, quality, and safety at Baptist Memphis.
Today we're going to talk about you being the recipient of the first ever President's Quality Award. So tell me a little bit about how you start your huddle day.
Well, every morning at 8 o'clock, all the senior leaders gather in our huddle room. And the first thing we do, Monday's kind of an important day because we go through what happened over the weekend. It's particularly around length of stay, how many discharges did we have. We review all of our strategic A3 work. We look at all of our initiatives that impact that strategic A3 work. We have our goals posted on the board for FY18, and then we have where are we so far in FY18. We also go through all of our KATA initiatives to assure that they are aligned with our goals. We look to make sure that everything that we are doing is completely aligned in order to get the results that we expect to improve safety and quality and experience for our patients, our physicians, and our employees. Also, what we do with that is that Cindy Pittman, our Chief Financial Officer, tracks our return on our investment from that work, so that we can look to see, are we making those impacts that we intend to make, but also are we benefiting the organization from a cost per case perspective. That happens at 8 o'clock in the morning. We also make sure we address any initiatives that we want to communicate at our 8:30 huddle.
You're able to cover that in 15 minutes?
Mm-hmm. And it's 8:30 to 8:45.
Same time every day?
Right, and it's in the huddle room. And we deliberately did that because we wanted people to be able to come in and see all of the corporate goals, entity goals, and it's tied into all the KATA work. And then you walk around and you see the daily safety board, so you can see every day how you're tying back into a strategy.
And the topics that are covered generally are?
Length of stay, falls, CAUTIs, CLABSIs, every day.
Every day.
Blood utilization.
Blood utilization, yes, every day.
So let's say if a fall occurs at 3 o'clock this morning.
Right.
On 3 East.
Mm-hmm.
Is that discussed the
Absolutely.
next morning?
They're expected to be called at home. That's the best practice. So the nurse managers are called at home 24/7. And so if it happens at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning, they will know about it and they will be prepared to present. It's not acceptable not to be ready. We had one that happened yesterday morning, and I did a fact check, and I asked the manager, were you notified? And yes, she was. Yesterday on a Sunday.
I think that's important. What Michelle just said is she used the word fact check. That's important, is that when we're discussing any of these events, either Darla or Michelle will ask a question to validate what our expectations are. So we're inspecting what we expect. If that same fall occurred in radiology, same thing. That radiology leader would be notified.
Or admitting. We've had that.
They will go through every single piece of investigation because the people on the front line are active participants in the investigation.
Now, not only do we fact check, but they fact check us. If we call a CAUTI or a CLABSI, you would see us getting fact checked.
Like last week.
Because that's the huge difference between now and then, is that the nurses at the bedside absolutely know the mission criteria for providing the title CAUTI or CLABSI. They know what has to happen. They know what has to occur. They know the sequence of events, and they do not mind protesting it if they think that they have been called in error. Mm-hmm. And they will go to the mat to try to prove that this did not happen. In fact, the last 2 years we've achieved over a 50% reduction each year. So now we are really talking about aiming for zero. We're talking about less than 1 infection a month to meet our goals this year. So what do you have to do to get that minute? Well, first of all, you have to know your business intimately. And so we know from looking at our strategic A3s last year that we have to have less than 10% of our census has to have a Foley every day. We know that line and device use is job one.
So in order to achieve these goals, who's in attendance for the morning huddle? What are your
Everybody.
expectations?
It's not just clinical people. That's what I really
Define
like about it.
everybody.
So it's environmental services, food services, security, chaplains. We've had security and chaplains prevent people from falling because they know that patients shouldn't sit on the side of the bed, and so they've actually intervened, gone to get a nurse, or even gone in and told the patient, I'm sorry, but that's risky behavior. I need you to either be in the bed or in a chair. And so it's really all walks of life. So we've got admitting there, CDI, case management, nursing.
Everyone is actually invited. We have doctors from time to time, even though they're not steady participants, but everyone's invited, and we bring especially new employees. We want them to see the process, but managers and directors are asked to come regularly.
It's not just manager. I mean, we have line staff there.
Yeah, we do.
So we have line staff nurses. We've had environmental service line workers there.
This is how the safety huddle then connects with all your improvement initiatives throughout the house.
It does.
Right.
My
It's that
staff members
partnership.
do those reports every day, make sure that they're there timely. They're so committed. They will come in early to do them. I mean, it's job one. And, BOC has given us that background and that database, and Michelle gave us the vehicle.
Well, I'm curious, do you see this being expanded to evening shifts or the weekends?
Yes, that's on my bucket list. Now, one thing that we do is we do put out a safety huddle every day. It's in writing and it goes out so that it's on all the units, and I see them on the floors so that if you walked out here and went out and looked at the huddle boards, you'd see this information. They know how many days on a unit they've gone without a CAUTI or a CLABSI or a fall. But yes, I would. That's my bucket list. We've done them and we've experimented on some holidays. I mean, I've come in on like the holiday before Christmas or something like that, and we've done that. It's just getting the data at that point.
Dana, I noticed there's a wrench hanging on the wall in the huddle room. Tell me about that wrench.
That large wrench
That
with the pink,
very large wrench with the pink ribbon on
the
it.
pink ribbon. Well, I think Dr. DePriest, he gave that to us at a Baptist Leadership Development Institute meeting this past year. Dr. DePriest always likes to align things with the heavy lifting of the work, or the ratcheting of, or the wrenching down of getting things right. So he was very much involved in looking at our safety huddles, our briefings with the senior leader. He's been over here a couple of times to help track from that room that you saw earlier all the way down to the front line, and how does it cascade down. And so at the Baptist leadership meeting, he asked for Michelle Smith and I to come to the front of the room and on the stage. And he said he had something for us, and he handed me this package that had this very, very large wrench that represents all the hard work that's happened here at Baptist Memphis. And we are honored to have that hanging. It reminds us every day, hanging up there between our KATA board and our strategic deployment board, that we can never lose focus of the need to always use the tools in our toolkit to make the work happen.
Thank you. Well, thank you guys so much. This was
You're
extremely
welcome.
helpful. I appreciate the work that you're doing and sharing this information with the rest of us across the organization. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.